Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 limited TV show Bodyguard. This show series was directed by John Strickland and Thomas Vincent, and it stars Richard Madden, who you may recognise from Game of Thrones, Keely Hawes, Sophie Rundle, Vincent Franklin, Ash Tandon, Gina McKee and Pippa Haywood. And this show tells the story of Richard Madden's character, David Dunn, who is a former soldier who served in Afghanistan and is currently working for the police force as like a special security agent. Essentially, he's a bodyguard for foreign dignitaries that come to this country. However, following a successful negotiation by him on a train, he basically talks down a suicide bomber on a train. He is essentially given a promotion, and he is given the opportunity to protect the Home Secretary in the UK, played by Keely Hawes, Julia. And what follows over these next 6 episodes is political drama, action, intrigue, bombs, threats, you name it. It's all over the place in regards to the storylines that we deal with over the next 6 episodes. But ultimately, David Dunn's character has to try and keep the Home Secretary alive, and at the same time assist in trying to stop bomb threats on UK soil. That's a loose description of these 6 episodes. Now, this came out in 2018. It's currently available on Netflix, this show, which is where I watched it. I didn't watch it when it was first released on UK TVs. I sometimes find it hard to follow like a weekly drama on TV or something like that. It's easier sometimes just to binge watch things, and I watched this over 2 or 3 nights with my wife, Bodyguard. And I've got to say, I really enjoyed this show. It wasn't exactly what I expected, but I do remember when it came out, like certainly in the UK, like the social media frenzy and the everything that you saw was really positive, and everyone were talking about this show and how good it was. So it's always a show I wanted to get round to watching, and I'm really glad I have now, because it is a tremendous show. But like I say, it's not exactly what I expected. I almost expected it to be a cross between, you know, the Gerard Butler Fallen films, Olympus Has Fallen, etc. A cross between that, Kevin Costner's Bodyguard, but with the, the BBC twist thrown in there. BBC have got a reputation for, at times, making high quality TV, but at other times making utter twaddle and trash. And you've got to kind of pick your dramas to watch with the BBC, and the ones that get the best feedback, you think, right, I'll give that one a go. And this was certainly one of them. And it is certainly a roller coaster ride, this show. I think Richard Madden does an absolutely tremendous job here as David Dunn. He is vulnerable. He is damaged from his time in Afghanistan. He's clearly got PTSD. He's obviously got issues and problems, but he still does his job really well for the most part. He ends up falling in love with with Julia, this Home Secretary. They kind of fall in love, but you're never sure who's playing who. You don't, because it's like a political drama, this as well. Well, it is. There's all these snakes in the background, I kept commenting to my wife watching this, it's like a nest of vipers. Everywhere you look, these politicians in this show are trying to get one up on each other, and the police are leaking information, and you're not sure, and that's the biggest strength of this show, you're not exactly sure who the bad guys are. You're not even sure, I wasn't, right up until the final episode, if David Dunn himself the main character, didn't have some kind of involvement here, because he wasn't coming clean. He had plenty of skeletons in his closet as well. So nobody in the show is squeaky clean, and that's the best thing the show does. It throws you deep into the grey area. There's no black and white here. There's no good and bad, not really. They're all nests of vipers, and it's trying ultimately to try and get answers as to who is the bad guy. And I very nearly spoiled the biggest twist in this show, but I won't in case you haven't seen it. But I think it's episode 4. Something happens that I genuinely didn't expect, that turned the show on its head. And the final 2 episodes, I think the weakest episode was the 5th episode. It was very much sorting through the after effects of the 4th episode, I believe, and then the 6th episode was just full on nail biting stuff. And so it was a remarkably well made show with some great performances. And I remember at the time Richard Madden was getting all the plaudits here for David Dunn, this character, and there was even talk about him being considered for Bond. A lot of people were saying he should be considered for Bond. And there are times where you could see that maybe in this show, but he gave an incredible performance. He really, really did do a great performance here of this character, trying to do the right thing, always trying to do the right thing, but making very flawed decisions, struggling internally with his own issues, his family issues, this affair with his boss, and trying to keep the wolves at the door, if you like. It must have been an incredibly difficult character to get a handle on, but he gave a really nuanced performance, and I can't compliment his performance well enough. And everybody else here on display are veterans in regards to UK TV. Keely Hawes as well was brilliant as Julia. She's well known mainly for British TV and things like that, but also I didn't realise that she's voiced Lara Croft in 5 Tomb Raider games, which is very interesting. But needless to say, it's a no-brainer. It's a 9 out of 10 for me, this show. It's 6 episodes of a roller coaster ride. It's up and down. It'll frustrate you. It'll entertain you. It'll shock you. But ultimately, it will definitely entertain you. So I was really, really impressed with this. Like I say, it's available on Netflix now. If you missed it the first time round on British TV, give it a check. Give this show a check out. It is definitely worth watching. Very, very good indeed. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will be back with more content and reviews on Screen Stars very, very soon.